What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Stella Herself podcast. It is almost the last day of September when I'm recording this. I think Thursday is October 1st. So happy fucking 1st. Oh yeah, it is, bitch. Happy October 1st, y'all, even though when I'm recording this, it's the 29th of September. But how exciting. The time just keeps passing by. No, despite, it's still feeling like March, which I'm kind of sick of seeing those tweets, but also not because it's, relatable. I don't know. I'm like, yeah. But I know you can relate. If you don't, it's fine. But probably a lot of you can relate. The TikToks that are, nostalgia about March 2020. It's literally, I don't think I can make a whipped coffee now without being triggered of, 6 p.m. curfew and Tiger King and not being able to buy toilet paper, I was thinking about that today because I went to Whole Foods earlier and I just remember the first week. It was a day or a couple days after, at least here, they announced that everything would be shutting down. I was like, oh, I should probably go I think I actually just had to go grocery shopping for regular groceries. I was never really in a mindset of I need to stock up until everything started disappearing, and then it's fuck, I should probably buy two. I don't know. But I went to Whole Foods and it was insane. And that was before they had social distancing rules and only a certain amount of people are allowed inside the store. So everyone was just in these long ass lines. And I was thinking about it today because I remember I had been standing in this line forever. And it was so crazy. And I went so early in the morning too. Usually at that time, it's empty. Especially at the Whole Foods I go to. And this girl was like, oh my God, I watch your videos. When you're in the middle of the apocalypse, but you still get recognized. It was so fun. Because I think I was at the same register today that I was at in that moment. And so I was just thinking of it. But that's so funny. Shout out to Sis if you're listening. I don't know. She said she used to watch me, so I don't know if she still does. I love when people say that. Because it's on one hand, I feel you. There's definitely people that I used to watch a lot more than now. But I feel I just wouldn't say that to someone because it kind of insinuates wow, YouTube. I don't know. Also, that just reminds me, this girl keeps commenting on my videos, hating me, but at least I'm getting that AdSense revenue from her and the views, but she keeps saying that I sound like my nose is always clogged up, and I just want to let you know that it is, and it's been an issue my whole life. I breathe through my mouth. I will literally cut out certain parts of videos because I am breathing through my mouth and it's open and it looks bad. So, I don't know what point you're trying to prove. I already know. I really honestly feel I need what's it called? A septioplasty. But it's I'm sure you know, it's where they fix your nose so you can breathe through it. I feel I need that. And I know because, it's I can, but it takes so much, focus. And just naturally, if I'm not thinking about it, I breathe through my mouth. And, I sleep with my mouth open. I'll literally hide my face if I'm sleeping next to someone because, don't... Gross. Ew, But I think my dad has the same issue. My dad's always had allergies and whatnot. I feel I just have the same thing. Why are we talking about this? I don't know. Point is, I already know, bitch. Okay? I don't know. I know that they say, when you move to LA and you're, I don't know. I feel I'm very, just a lot more aware of how I say that now because there's definitely, the industry, the entertainment industry, the fucking influencer industry, and that's not, LA. I feel I'm just friends with a lot more people that are from here now, and when people who move here say, oh, LA is so fake, LA is so annoying, it's yeah, obviously if you're fucking only hanging out with people that aren't from here and, trying to make it and, only trying to grow your IG, obviously. But to just, say that about a whole city, it's you don't even know. So that bothers me. But, what was I saying? That you'll, after you move here, you'll start to develop a lot more insecurities just because that's how it is. Again, that's the entertainment industry, that's social media, that's not LA. It's different, it's two different things. And I feel I'm starting to really feel that, and I don't feel it's LA so much as like social media. You could live anywhere and develop insecurities. But I was talking about this in my vlog today, so you're going to hear about it in next week's vlog. But I feel like just because I always see myself on camera and I'm always taking photos and vlogging and just looking at myself, like editing pics, editing vids, there's just like all these little things that I feel like I notice now. And it pisses me off. Just like, oh my god, no, like I would look so much better if I got these lines like filled in, or like if I just got a little filler in my chin. Like this right here in photos like annoys me. Like I'm like, I wish it was just a little more snatched, or like my eyes are so uneven. Like, oh my god, I would just feel so much better if they were like not. And I really hesitate to like talk about that or to bring any attention to it, because it's like I don't want someone to, you know, have never thought that in their life and then think, oh, well, like I kind of look like that, like, or I have that, like, does that mean that I need to fix it? Because it's like, it's not about that. It's about like, I mean, I don't know, like that's why I don't really talk about it. But on the other hand, it might be relatable. Like, I don't know, I feel that too. And I feel like I don't know, like I'm like, do I have body dysmorphia? Because I really try not to edit my body or my face. Like, I'll smooth my face. I'll fucking, you know, if I feel bloated in a pic, I'll snatch myself a little bit. But I really try not to, like, overdo it, just because, first off, I do not want to be a catfish. Like, I'm scared of that. And I've definitely I don't know. I just don't want to look so different in real life than my pics. Like, especially because, like, I don't know. That's just embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Like, I never want to over edit my pics. Like, that's literally so embarrassing. Like, I literally won't do specific poses. Like, I don't know if y'all have noticed, I post way less ass pics these days just because I'm like, I don't actually really look like that. Like, it's just the angle. It's just the pose. Like, regardless of editing, like, it's literally just the pose and the angle. I don't look like that. I don't want, like, oh my god. This one time, y'all, this rapper was in my DMs. When I first moved here, I was skinny as fuck. And, like, that's before I worked out. And this is so, I'm going on so many tangents, but I'm gonna just go with it. And I had this pic, this bikini pic. It was like full ass. Like, I don't not really post pics like that anymore, just because I'm like OnlyFans. And he replied to it, and bitch, I did not look like that at all. Like, I swear to God. And at first he wanted to take me on a date, and sometimes I'm kind of like, fuck, I should have gone just to like see the vibe, because he actually seems like really cool. But I'm so glad I didn't, because that would have been so embarrassing, like so bad. Maybe not, like whatever, I don't know, but fuck. So that's one reason why I don't. And then also, where was I even going with this? I don't want to be a catfish. And also, just like always seeing yourself again, even if I don't edit a photo, I feel like we all are gonna look different in different poses and different angles. You know, you can make yourself look really thick. You can make yourself look thicker or skinnier, like depending on everything. And I just feel like because I'm always taking photos of myself and like posing, it's like I don't know what I look like. I feel like that's kind of damaging. And then of course it does not help that like so many people, like I don't know, I feel like people are so annoying when they're like, people get work done, and people like, it's like, it's not, first of all, take responsibility of your own insecurities. Like, because someone else wanted to feel confident in their body and look a certain way, why, that doesn't mean that, like, you have to blame them or judge them for your insecurities. I've always disagreed with that. I feel like it's, like, annoying. Because also, it's like, what if I want to get something done? You're going to fucking blame me because you, like, it's like, just, you can do whatever you want. It's just like, I don't care. I don't care about other people's business like that. It doesn't affect me. I was gonna say I don't care about stuff that doesn't affect me, but like that kind of sounds ignorant. But in that sense, like someone getting their ass done or their lips done or whatever, it's like, why should that affect me? But just the fact that so many people do like either get work done or edit their photos or even just always post pics of their best angles and stuff, it's just like, it's really easy to just fall into that thinking trap, even if it's subconscious, like I don't look like that, or like I need to look this way. And it's like so shocking to like see a pic of yourself at an unflattering angle. It's like, oh my god, is that what I actually look like? It's like, am I living a lie? But it's like, it's still me, but it's like I'm always looking at myself at like a good angle. So it's like, you know, like the photos I select it's always going to be good. And it's like, I don't always look like that. And it's just like, so, I don't know. I'm like, how damaging is this? I don't know. I feel like if I had like money, like mini money, I would, fuck it, I would get everything. No, but like, it's like, why not? I don't know. Some people look so bomb. It's like, fuck. But yeah, what do you guys think about all that? And what do you think about like plastic surgery? Because, for example, even before I wanted to like get a BBL, I always wanted to get my titties done since I was literally like 14, 15. Just because I always felt like, I just feel like the shape, like I just wanted to be like, I just feel like some stuff I can't even wear because it's like my body is big enough but my titties aren't big enough to fit this. And it's insecurity hour, y'all. But then I'm always like going back and forth in my mind like, oh no, well I want to be natural. It's like, it's not like I don't necessarily like it, but it's like I could, but it's like I don't, what does that like say? Like I just want to accept myself, but then I want to like be popping, I want to be more confident. It's like, it's my body, I should be able to do what I want, but I want to like, you know, it's just always going back and forth. And I don't know, maybe in the future, fuck it. I just feel like it'd be fun, but also I'm like, what does that like say about? But then it's like, does it really matter? I feel like either way, it's like how much. I feel like either way, it's like I'm caring about what other people think. So it's like, what does my own inner voice say? And then my inner voice is like, you shouldn't even care about anything because everything is fake. So I'm like, fuck. So then I just don't do anything. Fuck. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know. But yeah, some people just look so bomb after they get stuff done. It's like, I'm just saying. Anyway, it is, I think it's on the first of the day that this podcast comes out. It is a harvest full moon, and October's a special month because there are 2 full moons, one on the 1st and one on the 31st. Where did this go? Here we go. So that's what once in a blue moon means. It means 2 full moons in 1 month. So it's not exciting, bitch. Okay. Gotta crack my back. I just need someone to like crack, not my back, but like my spine. So this full moon is in Aries. And Aries is a fire sign. It's a sign of a lot of like energy and like, I feel like Aries is the like, I don't know, I want to say the most fiery fire sign, but like in the sense of like Aries will fight. Like their planet is Mars, you know, passion, like ready to fight, assertiveness, like all of that. Yeah. Low-key, I'm like wondering if I should say this because I don't know if I'll disagree with myself later, but I feel like Aries is like the fire sign of fire signs. Leo, low-key, kind of the water sign of fire signs, because like, you know, a crab goes in their shell, a lion goes in its cave. Like, you know, you don't want to show emotions, but you can get your feelings hurt so easy. Like, our fucking egos, dude. And I feel like Sag is almost like the air sign of fire signs. Like, you know, they just want to like travel and like be places and like I love a Sag. I feel like I just love a Sag. Not in like a, like as a pal. I don't think, I've said this before, I've never fucked with a Sag like in a special way, but as a pal, love them so much. Oh, just great to be around. Okay, this is from bustle.com, and it's like things to do and not do during this Aries full moon. Aries lunar energy serves as a cosmic caffeine rush and will feel especially hyped when it comes to charging forward with emotional endeavors and adjusting dynamics within our personal relationships. Ooh. Oh my god. So it's like the harvest moon, so you know, like harvesting, metaphorically speaking, and I feel like because it's the first of the month and it's the start of fall, like it's just a great time to like, I don't know, move forward or like move on. There are a lot of other things going on right now, like Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde is about to start, so we may already be feeling some of that, but it's still like, you know, life has to go on. So they say, do be willing to compromise.
Playing from the Stella Ray herself.
Bruh, so annoying. She'll just like say that randomly. It's like, yeah, I know. Like, it's not like I just connected. It's been connected this whole time. Why do you have to do that? So, I shouldn't even have that thing, but whatever. Be willing to compromise. Because, you know, it's like, it's a feisty, they say it's a feisty full moon. It's in Aries. It's in a tug of war with the diplomatic and harmony-obsessed sun in Libra. How's Libra season going for y'all, by the way? Let me know. Don't let impatience prompt a full moon fit. So basically just like, it's going to be a lot of energy and, you want to start things, you want to move forward, you want to like go. But then taking into consideration like, having balance in your life, like settling down, patience, getting along with others. Not everything has to necessarily be 100% your way. Patience when it comes to like actual tasks and stuff, but also just like vibes. Sometimes you just want something to happen at your own pace, but sometimes things happen on their own. Everything happens in its own time. Don't neglect your relationships. Having a full moon in Aries puts a major lunar focus on ourselves, our confidence, and our raw desires. Ooh. And then on the other side of that is Libra, which is a sign of partnerships, which reminds us that in order to propel ourselves to new heights, we have to play fair with others. Oh, this is a great full moon to be social and connect with friends or lovers and find your ways to make your relationship more fulfilling and mutually beneficial. Take charge within your relationships. Harvest your metaphorical crops. Ooh, reflect on where you were in your life last April under the new moon in Aries. It's time to refocus on whatever projects or goals you launched in the start of quarantine and, just propel it forward. Don't ignore your emotions. So think like, again, fiery, like going ahead, taking charge, like, oh my God, okay, we get it, Aries, calm down. Its energy is impulsive and audacious, which is great, but we need to have balance. And it's like I knew this, but I never heard someone say it until I did. Whenever it's a season, so like right now it's Libra season, it's going to be, the new moon is in that sign, so there was a Libra new moon, and the full moon is going to be in its opposite. So Aries is opposite of Libra, so it's an Aries full moon. I never really like knew that. Like it's like I did, but I didn't put it together. So, as I've always said, full moons are when the tea comes out. So like new moon, again, I'm literally repeating myself as like in every podcast that I've ever said this, I've said this. A new moon, nothing in the sky, no moon, it's new, there's nothing. So you put energy there. A full moon, the moon is in the sky full, so the energy is there. So you might have like realizations about relationships or yourself or whatever. They're like look back to April, kind of like reflecting, realizing, moving forward. And I feel like especially with these planets in retrograde, it's going to be a great time to do that. So if you have any realizations, write them down. Because there's nothing better. Because I don't know, I feel like for me at least, I'm like, yeah, I should do that. But it's like, I'm feeling it right now. I know it right now, so why would I write it down? I already know. But it's like you forget. And I know this because I've always kept a journal. And, on and off. It's not like regular, but pretty much since middle school, honestly. I still have all of them. And just reading the stuff, like going back and reading, you forget what you realized and at what time or point in your life you realized it or came to this revelation. So to write it down is so cool. And especially with like manifestations or like say you're writing, like I think they call it scripting, but when you're just writing out like your dream life, your dream home, your dream partner, job, whatever, you're actually writing it down. It can help your manifestation because like I feel like writing stuff makes it more real. But then also just to go back, it's like sometimes it's shocking how much stuff is on point. Like I remember a couple years ago, I was like just writing, like I was like I kind of want like a little bae, like I want. And I wrote down like all the qualities I wanted him to have. And then a couple months later, I started like talking to this guy that had so many of those points. And I was kind of like, did I manifest that bitch? So it's just a good call, TBH. Like, it's cool to look back on. I don't know. I just love that. Like, I love being like, oh my God, TBT. I just love TBTs, y'all. I think it's the Cancer in me, but just like, yeah, let's record this so we can look back on it. God. So let me know if you've had any realizations. Y'all know I love a good realization. Ow. Also, I've just been sleeping so good. Like, oh my God, y'all, I had a nap yesterday that was like one of those naps where you wake up and forget what day it is, where you are. Like, I woke up thinking I had somewhere to be. Like, I was like, oh, it was so good. And I kind of slept like that last night too. Like, I woke up just like, slept through the whole night. Like, it was just so good. There's nothing like that. Like, seriously. Okay, so this girl messaged me. Here we go. I screenshotted it. So she said, I would love for you to talk about this in a podcast, but people ask me all the time how I can have a boyfriend while doing OnlyFans. I think it's really their internalized misogyny thinking that no man would possibly want me if I'm also a sex symbol. That's the tea. Even one of my boyfriend's friends was like, I don't know, she might cheat on you there. Even though I've never cheated, but the boyfriend's friend, has cheated on his girlfriend. And she says, anyway, people really do be hating women for no reason. So, y'all know, we've talked about this a lot before. Not necessarily this specific example, but just the idea that, like, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. So, like, the thing is, even if you're in a relationship, I feel like the root of, like, patriarchy and relationships and marriage, it's like you become a man's property. And, you know, you really think about it, like, what is it called when, like, the bride's family gives the man money? It's like they're selling their daughter away. And, like, man and wife, it's like, why isn't it bride and groom? Why isn't it husband and wife? Why is it man and wife? Why do you get to be a person and I'm just wife? I'm just the bride. Like, or like how we take the man's last name. So it's just very like, the man is the head of the household. The man owns me. Like, I'll just do whatever he says. I'm here to have his kids and clean his laundry. Classic. Literally classic. Sorry, I had to just vomit a little at the thought. No. Kind of just choking on my own spit. So, with that is like, essentially it comes down to like, my body is not my own. If I am in a relationship with a man, he owns me and my body, and I'm not allowed to like do what I want. So at the end of the day, it's like, my body is still my body. And that's why it pisses me off when people are like, oh, you're selling your body. It's like, no, I'm selling a service. I'm selling videos, photos, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, my body is still my body. And I feel like people just don't know that. Like, because it's just so ingrained that, like, it's just like women are not allowed to be themselves, live for themselves, and that's it. It's always like, what will your family think? What will your kids think? What will your husband think? No one's going to want you if you do that. It's like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's my life, my body, my decision. So why, especially if someone is single and has no kids, especially then, because it's like, you're just making stuff up. You're putting these like societal expectations on me, and who's to say I even want that? But it's like, even if I do have that or I wanted that, it's like, I'm still my own person. Like, I feel like we should all have our own autonomy on our bodies and lives and selves, you know? And that's just so like shocking. So yeah, definitely a lot of internalized misogyny. Like, it's like, oh, you can't be someone's faithful GF in a committed relationship, but also like be a sex worker or post a scandalous pic or like wear certain outfits or twerk at the club. Like, oh my God, you're disrespecting your man. It's like, I could understand how that might get a little like fuzzy if it's like, oh, like what is cheating, like, you know, but that's kind of different because that's like within the relationship, and like, you know, if you make an agreement to each other that you're being exclusive with one another, then that's different. Like, if I'm flirting with someone else or wanting to fuck someone else, fucking someone else, like, that would be a violation of that agreement. But if I'm making choices and things that are like about only me, like that should just affect me, you know? So I feel like that's the difference. So yeah, definitely a whole lot of bullshit. Dude, literally everything is made up. Like, it just frustrates me when people just have these old ass ideas, and like, I feel like I say this in every podcast, but like, also sorry for, I'm always touching my hair in these. I'm editing them like, fuck, bitch, put your fucking hand down. I get so annoyed. Everything's made up, and it's like, we don't have to live like this, and people don't realize that like, stuff that they are so against, it like still affects them. Like when bros are like so homophobic, it's like that still affects you. Like your life would be better if this concept didn't exist. Like you personally, like even if you're not gay, like it's still, because then it's like, oh, it's like, oh, like boys can't cry, like, you know. It's like, imagine we live in a society has progressed past society. There is no longer a need for society. Like, imagine if everyone could just literally do whatever they want. Like, it's just like, oh my god. And it just makes me think of like when people are like, oh, you shouldn't care what other people think, do you. And then it's like, how are you gonna do you when like you're literally, when people are shaming you every day, or like when you're getting death threats, or like you have to fear being like harmed because of who you are, you know? That's not like a hee fuck the haters. That's like life and death, literally, actually. It's just like, oh my god. Literally, like, oh my god. I know if you can relate, you can relate, but it's just, it boggles my mind. Like, it does, but it doesn't. But everything comes from the same roots and like bullshit, and I feel like if more people just woke up to that, like why things are the way that they are, and if more people like questioned why we have to do certain things or why we feel like we need to, it's like people be like, oh, fuck this, and then we could progress in society. What does that look like? I don't know. No offense. How am I supposed to know when this is all I've ever known? But at least I'm thinking about it. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you do OnlyFans or anything like that, or even if you just have some thoughts on that. Let me know. Oh my god. I think I have mosquito bites. Ugh. Okay, I asked you guys on IG to send me some topics. As per usual, and we're just going to be discussing a few of them because that's what we do on here. Also, someone asked me to do a gang bang, and I just want to say, this is Wendy's, ma'am. This is a Stella Right podcast. Boundaries and being independent. I love this. It's something I've been practicing a lot. Also, I feel like I talk about this all the time, but I have no regrets because it's something that I'm always thinking about and always having to remind myself about. So if someone else needs that, then they will get it here. So I've been just practicing, or trying to practice a lot recently, setting boundaries. And even with little stuff, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I think of that and it's like, oh, it's like setting a boundary on a date. Like, I will not, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's like there's bigger examples, or it's like, oh, if it's like you first meet someone, set your boundaries. And yeah, but like, I feel like there's also a lot that you can do, like within friendships you already have, or with people you already know, relationships that have already formed. Like, there's always opportunities to practice setting boundaries, because I feel like we're always growing and changing, and maybe our boundaries will change with that. So like, for example, if a friend asks me to do something, I don't really want to do it. I feel like in the past it would just be comfortable for me to like, I don't want to say ignore the message, but kind of like try to go around it. Like, that's just like me. It's the Cancer in me, y'all. I just can't. So I've been really trying to practice like just saying, oh, I don't want to do that, but we can do this, or like, oh, no, like, I don't really feel like it. Oh, I'm kind of tired. Like, just being direct. And if that's not ever been an issue for you, then you're probably like, what the fuck, bitch? But it's just always been hard for me, because it's like, I don't know, it's like I don't want to let someone down, or it's like I don't want to seem like a bitch, or seem high maintenance, or seem like it's all about me, because that's just not the kind of person I am, so I don't want to come off that way. But I think I've realized that there's a difference between being a bitch and being just upfront. So, like, no one's gonna hear this. It doesn't matter. This guy was asking me to hang out, and I was like down at first, and then he just started like basically just annoying me. Like, he was like, oh, like, my friend's actually gonna come. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you don't actually want to hang out with me. Like, I don't want to hang out in a group situation. So I was kind of like annoyed. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I feel like especially with guys, it's like, it can, I don't know, it's like if you don't really, really like someone, it is kind of easier. It's almost like easier to practice setting boundaries because you don't have that fear versus like if it's someone you really like or it's like a friend you really care about, it's like, I feel like at least for me, I'm extra like, I don't want to offend this person or let them down because it's like I really care about them. But like a guy that it's like, you want to hang out with me, it's like easy to like, no. And I feel like maybe that's why it's like, oh, this guy is so thirsty for me, or this guy keeps trying to make plans with me even though I keep saying no, because it's like maybe I'm just setting those boundaries. And not in like a stalker way, but you know, just like sometimes it seems it's like the guy that you like, that you're doing everything for. Why doesn't he like me? I do so much for him. Like, I suck his dick whenever he asks. It's like, yeah, because you're not setting boundaries, so he just thinks he can walk all over you. Versus a guy you don't really like, it's like you're setting these boundaries because it's like you don't care about offending him. But therefore, it's like you're actually, it seems like you're respecting yourself, respecting your boundaries more because you're setting them. That's the fucking key, bitch. Whoa. Anyway, so I was just like, I don't want to hang out with you and your bro. Like, we can hang out, but that's all I'm here for. And then he started calling me a bunch of times. I kind of like ignored him because I was just like, at this point, I'm over. Like, I literally got ready. I felt like it's like you're making me feel dumb because I got ready, and then after you're gonna tell me this, like, I was already in my mind like it's a no. Then he calls me later or texts me. He's like, oh, like, we can do something tonight. And again, in my mind, I'm already over it. But I was like, okay, maybe. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, I do not want to do that. So instead of first off just like being like, okay, I guess he really wants to hang out with me. So, you know, it's like, I don't really want to hang out with him. Why am I putting his feelings or his wants over my own? Like, I come first to me. Who else is going to have my back if I don't, bitch? And then also just like, it's like you already wasted my time. No, well, I mean, yeah, but if I am already, like, instead of going along with the plan or finding some, like, way around it, like, oh, no, I actually have something to do, I was just direct, and I said, I think I'm just going to stay in tonight. I didn't give an explanation. Like, I feel like so often we feel like we need to give an explanation or say, oh, because I have to do this, or come up with an excuse, and it's like you don't. You can literally just leave it at that. And if someone still tries to test you after you've already said, like, I don't feel like it tonight, I'm tired tonight, not even that, just like, I don't want to. I would rather stay in tonight. Then you know, like, oh, so this is the kind of person that is not respecting my boundaries. And again, it's so much easier to practice when you don't really care. So use that. And I think the thing is, like, what I've been realizing in actively practicing this as much as I can is that most of the time, people aren't even going to think anything of it. They're just going to be like, okay. So then you start to associate sticking up for yourself or setting a boundary as having that feeling at the end, like the relief or like the I did good, or like good, now I don't have to go, now I don't have to do that, now I can just do what I originally wanted to or what I want, or I can stay in, or I can whatever. So it doesn't become as scary because it's like, oh no, I know this is gonna, like, it's gonna be fine. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's, I don't know, it can definitely be uncomfortable, but I think even just having the mindfulness of like for me, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling like I want to not, I'm feeling like I want to go around this, or like I don't want to address this, or like I don't want to say this, so I'm gonna say it because I'm feeling uncomfortable. Why am I feeling uncomfortable? So I force myself to, and then I always feel better. It's like, now I don't have to do that. And it's like, I don't have to come up with an excuse or like, oh, I can't post on my story because what if they see that I'm actually not like at a birthday party like I said I had to be at, you know? It's like no one really cares. And if they try to test you, we're like, oh, well, why not? Well, can't you just like, just don't reply after that? It's like, you've literally already stated your boundary. I wouldn't do that. So it's like, you're kind of being the unreasonable one now. Sweat link. So yeah, practice setting boundaries, y'all. That's my story. How to stop being obsessive over my appearance. If anyone finds out, let me know. No, but again, just like mindfulness, I try to catch myself, and then I just kind of tell myself, like, chill out. Mindfulness is everything, y'all. Like, I feel like it's very rare that there's just like a end all, cure all, like answer to something like a question like this, but mindfulness, because then you catch yourself, and then you can catch yourself before you go down that thought spiral of like, oh my god, I'm worthless. You know? Yeah. Gangbang soon? Like, what? Someone just says, talk about fall. Y'all, it's supposed to be 100 degrees here tomorrow. It's just like I kind of just want a little bit of cozy hours. Like, I just kind of want to not have my AC on all day. I just want to carve a pumpkin and get to wear like a jacket, you know? I want to be able to wear a sweatpant outside and not sweat. Like I am so... I'm so over it, y'all. Like, it's just like hard. It's really hard. But to see other people's tweets like, oh, fall, like so cozy. It's like, okay, well, not here. It's still summer, but I'm over all the summer activities. Like, I do not even feel like going in the pool. Like, you. Also, the pool fucked my toes up this summer, which makes sense because, you know, I was getting really lit and not realizing my actions. But I'm over that now, you know? I just want some toe growth. I literally put a fake toenail on my big toes. It honestly made it such a difference. Like, it's shocking. DM me for photos. This girl says stalking someone's page, and I like posted this on my story, but I erased everyone's name. But she messaged me, she's like, stop exposing me. I was like, I'm so sorry. But okay, here's the thing. If you first meet someone, or you meet them on a dating app or whatever, I think it's completely valid to stalk their page completely. And like, because bro, it's just happened on more than one occasion where I find out someone has a girlfriend, a wife, a fucking baby that they're lying to me about. I haven't dealt with that kind of shit in a while because I just refuse. But there's nothing wrong with stalking when you first meet someone, or, you know, after a first date or something. This is where I draw the line. I do not stalk once I realize that I like someone, or, you know, I'm sleeping with them and I'm kind of in my feelings a little bit. Like, I just don't, because you'll get your feelings hurt. Even they could be literally just like the purest person ever, but I know, at least for me, if I'm in my feelings, if I feel some type of way, if I'm like, I'm starting to like this person, you know, it's like the jealousy can come out, the twisted thoughts can come out, the like, you don't want that. And I see so many girls on TikTok talking about like checking his Snap score. I feel like that's kind of like in the generation a little below me, like maybe a couple years younger than me, because I didn't even think of ever doing that. I don't know if they even had that when I was like in high school, and like, I don't know. I feel like it's just, yeah, it's passive. Like, I don't really have people on Snapchat. Everyone I have on Snapchat I've like had for years. Like, I'm not like adding people on there these days. It's like, I have you, or I'll just never see you on there. But also, the camera might die, so sorry if you aren't able to see my face. I know y'all love to look at it. But it's like, you'll get your feelings hurt, so just don't do it. Like, I will mute someone if I like them. If we follow each other on social media and we're fucking, or I like you, I'm gonna mute you. And I'm kind of trying to get over that personally, because I just feel like, I shouldn't have to care about that, you know. I move with love, not fear. I've really been trying, but it honestly also just depends on the type of person you're messing around with. But yeah, just don't for your own mental sanity. Don't look at how many people, don't look at their followers, who they're following, going up and down. Like, just don't look through the comments. Like, just don't, because it's just so easy to look too much into something. And it's like, I know I've tweeted things or put things on my story, or like that like, if someone who had that mentality saw that, like, if I don't know if any guy that I've ever been with would think like that. I honestly don't know. But it's like, oh, she's out to dinner, like, who's she with? Like, why didn't she tell me? Like, shit like that. And there was this guy that I used to kind of like talk to, And he would just like always, like on his Twitter, just always be like spilling the tea of like who he was going on dates with, and like, oh yeah, I used to fuck this one girl, da, 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 da. And it was just like, it was so triggering, because it's like, I knew we weren't in a relationship, I knew that wasn't my boyfriend, but it's still like, fuck. And I would like I would just like read this. So I was like, this is never making me feel good, so let me just stop. But again, I think if you first meet someone, you're first trying to get the vibe, you meet them on a dating app, you have a first date, no harm in stalking extensively, because you just never know. And again, especially if you are meeting someone on social media, or even if you do meet someone IRL, but it's like once, it's like you're not really gonna know the true vibe. So do your research, because you just never know. Someone could have a wife. TBT that he was married, story time. Bro, low-key, that's why I'm kind of glad that, like, like, I know I complain about, like, oh my god, it's so hard to find bays these days. I know that's, like, a thing that we're all complaining about, some of us. But on the other hand, I'm glad, because it kind of saves you from a lot of fuckery. It's kind of great not to have to deal with any of that. Nothing like feeling sane in your own mind. But yeah, do not check his page. Mute him. Like, it's just, save yourself the headache. Like, just don't. I feel like that's all I can physically talk about right now. Also, I kind of feel like I need to pee, so I feel like I just can't think, period. And also, bro, I usually work out. Like, I'll make my coffee, eat a small breakfast, work out, and then shower and get my day actually started. Today, I was like, let me save that morning energy for, like, taking IGs, and like I wanted to record this today. I actually had to take photos for a brand. It was like actually something I had to do. So I still gotta work out. That's why I do not like waiting to work out, because something about having it already done just hits different. But yeah, so do that. So anyway, thank you. Oh, and the camera just died. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, all of that. Tweet me a screenshot, IG story me a screenshot of you listening so I can retweet, repost. And I will talk to you guys next week. Love y'all.